How can God use one family to bring healing? This week we take a look at the Koshevnik Church, which is a hope center in Kazakhstan. On our trip to Kazakhstan, we took a trip to the city of Taraz, which is 4 hours west of Almaty. We stayed there for most of our trip in Almaty. Taraz, it sits on the old Silk Road. It's an ancient city with roots over 2,000 years old, and it has over 300,000 people in it. But it has a major issue with substance abuse, alcoholism, and addiction. Imagul was the first to encounter Christ in her family. Her brother Sarek recalls, "We didn't love each other. We actually hated each other. We didn't want to spend time together." The family struggled with alcoholism. Sarek, Imagul, their sister Bella, their mother, their father, they each had their own personal demons with the drink. Imagul, she gave her life to Christ, and it started to change for the better. She brought the gospel to her family. Sarek had a background of gambling. He was actually a criminal in Russia. He vividly remembers a dream from this time. He said, "I saw God and the devil standing in a courtroom, and the devil was reading my charges, but God forgave me." Bella, she was addicted to alcohol, with depression and suicidal thoughts. Her daughter and son became believers first, and they started praying that their mother would stop drinking vodka. One night, Bella hit a new low. She came crying to the mosque. She was hoping for answers and for comfort. She said she went into the mosque hoping she could push away Jesus because of her sister Imagul. That night, there was no one who would accept her at the mosque. She said she took it as a sign that Allah had turned away. Bella said, "I felt like Allah was saying, 'You're dirty, and I don't want you.'" She then went to a prayer house at the Baptist church that her children attended. There on the wall they had the verse, "I am the light of the world. Whoever follows me will not walk in darkness, but will have the light of life." She fell down in front of God that night, and she cried out for mercy, and God forgave her. Bella was freed from drinking, smoking, and swearing over the next 8 months. Bella said, "From this moment, my life belongs to God. I gave myself for Him. After many bad things I did to my kids, I want to apologize and do new good things." The entire family came to faith, and the Lord began using them as a unit for His glory. Sarek said, "He made us as one again." They started doing ministry together from their apartment. God started moving through the family first as a house group. Sarek said, "We had a lot around us of these addicted people, and God started to save them through our family." Bella told us a story of seeing a woman drinking on the street with a vodka bottle. She said, "I said to God, 'Look at her, she's the same as me. You love her just like you love me.'" 1 month later, Imagul brought this same woman home to the family, and she was saved. And she actually got her children back from an orphanage. The small group became a church that now reaches 80 to 100 people every week. They all meet in the family house, filling up the entire space. And the church has become a hope center through Bible Mission. It allows Bible Mission to partner and equip them in the ministry God has called them to. Over the COVID pandemic, the government of Kazakhstan closed the roads in or out of Taraz, which meant that food couldn't come in. Using their qualifications as a ministry organization, they could leave the city and get bread. Sarek said, "We started bringing in bread. We were ready to give it out in one place, and we were stopped by the police. They told us to follow them because we have a new place much, much worse than where they were originally going." Over the pandemic, the church gave up about 1,000 loaves of bread per day in Taraz. Bella started to cook en masse at the house, making up to 800 meals there on some days. They've also added a banya, which is a Russian sauna, and washing machines within their house and their church to be able to address community needs. They've also added a banya, which is a Russian sauna, and washing machines to be able to address community needs. God has given Koshevnik Church a vision for a rehab ministry, which they're doing now. They have a separate house for their rehab program, as well as women's rehab being offered. I'm going to talk more about this branch of their ministry soon, but God is doing incredible things through this family that was previously in the grip of addiction. Sarek hopes that there will soon be 5 churches in Taraz that started from Koshevnik. They also hope to have 2 rehab centers that can fit 30 people each. The Lord is bringing life to this ministry, as 3 house groups have started from the original group in Taraz. Sarek said, "We are a small church with a big task from God." As I sat in their dining space hearing all of these stories, I was just struck with the power of the Lord to redeem this entire family and do ministry from there. This only comes from total surrender to God and following His will. I asked Sarek if he ever struggles with the idea of living a more normal life. He responded, "Our family can't live normally." Joshua 24:15 says, "And if it is evil in your eyes to serve the Lord, choose this day whom you will serve, whether the gods your father served in the region or beyond the river, or the gods of the Amorites in whose land you dwell. But as for me and my house, we will serve the Lord."